Hi, thanks for tuning in to Astro Awani, and you are watching the last episode of In Realty for 2011. My name is Inawati Anan, and he is my dear friend Syed Fardino Omar.
Now, we've brought to you 51 exciting episodes of In Realty throughout the year, filled with goodies on the property market as well as interior decor. This is the very best of In Realty 2011, brought to you from the Gardens of Concentrico at the top of Vogue Tower, Verve Suites apartment right here in Mount Kiara.
The Concentrico living concept is yet another brilliant and timeless design by Bukit Kiara Properties that exudes the Earth's natural elements and environments sky high.
Well, to kick things off, let's talk to the man himself, the Chairman of REHDA KL, Mr. N.K. Tong, and he will tell us where are the best places to live in here in KL. Hi guys, now it's only a couple of days away from 2012 and we're giving you this few days to think about the areas that you might want to look into in 2012. Unless you're watching this in 2012, then it's this year. But you know, to get a general idea of where are the 8 places in KL that you should be priming your telescopes to, we have with us the Chairman of REHDA KL himself, Mr. N.K. Tong, to answer some more questions. Thank you. Nice to have you on the show again. So the question is very simple. I suppose this is not, you know, where are the 5 areas in KL that REHDA is going to pick, but it's rather your pick here. So which are the 5 areas in KL that you think are the hotspots that we should be looking at?
Okay, well, before I choose 5, I mean, it's very difficult. I would say for individuals, the hotspots for them are the areas they know best. Okay, so I preface that. So maybe these are some of the areas I know best, which I think have potential. And again, you know, there's so much vibrancy, so much changes in KL that maybe halfway through 2012, all this will change. But
so what are the bits that make up, the qualities that make up, you know, the areas that you're going to put in this list of yours?
I think the quality of the residential projects coming up, the scarcity value of it, and my bias is maybe towards potential foreign investors coming into Malaysia. Okay, right? So it's still been we're still fairly low in terms of foreign investors, but I think over time more and more people find KL very attractive. So starting with the top of the...
Do we need a drum roll?
Drum roll, yeah. Surprisingly, I like KLCC, and I think if you listen in the past, a lot of people have been saying KLCC is a little bit overbuilt, there's too much supply. Yeah, there may be some softening, but in terms of value, the price per square foot, I think KLCC is good value. I would look at KLCC. Secondly, the area I'm familiar with from my development point of view is Mount Kiara. Although, you know, just to declare interest, we don't have any more future projects here, so I'm hopefully unbiased here. But just the infrastructure here, the expatriate community, and then close 3 and 4 maybe Bangsa and Ampang. You know, they in Ampang plays off KLCC. Bangsa is quite near to Mount Kiara, access to international schools. So those are 4 areas. If I had to pick one outside of KL, a little bit further, I like Kota Damansara.
Kota Damansara, amongst all the Damansaras?
Well, I mean, and it's very difficult to define exactly, but you know, sometimes you look at criteria where traffic starts to build up. You know it's happening. Where some of the major hypermarkets are locating themselves, and they do a lot of research before they put themselves in a particular area. And sometimes these big centers move in ahead of time, anticipating the population growth.
If you compare all 5 and put all of them on a timeline, the first 2 are generally the newer ones, where you have the newer properties, the newer developments. In Mount Kiara, in KLCC, you have the new glitzy blocks, whereas Ampang, Bangsa, and also parts of Damansara where the traditional big KL neighborhoods are. So, however, even though they're old, they still feature very high on any realtor's list of good neighborhoods. Why?
I mean, old is gold. Actually, if you're talking about people with big budgets, they probably should look at landed property in Pantai or Damansara Heights or even Canny Hills, because very limited supply. Well,
Making
strata properties,
Yeah.
right? So again, coming back to foreign investors, they may not have the infrastructure to manage in terms of tenants and bungalows are quite difficult to take care of. But if it's strata apartments, they're fairly standardized. They have management taking care of it. Agents also frequently showing units. It's easier to own it from a remote location.
Let's talk a little bit about prices here. In any of those 5 areas, or rather in all those 5 areas, are you expecting a huge jump, a small jump, for it to remain?
That's the $1 million question, and I think it's a question that you and I can't answer, and not even the government here. It really is a global situation. What is happening around the world, and I think what will happen around the world. I mean, you look, the signs are all written all over. Whether it's 2012, 2013, there is another slowdown, potential slowdown coming. Now, having said that, that may also be good news for Malaysia in the sense that as long as, relatively speaking, our economies are more robust, then there'll be more attention focused on us. So what's happening, like in the past crisis in 08, 09, and I anticipate happening here as well, is that the Western economies, to get out of that situation, they'll start to print more money to start to inflate away their debt. So they put more liquidity into the economy to help shore it up. The money then will find its best use, and they see Asia growing, and a lot of it will come here. So what's going to happen is, and we've seen that before, price inflation, just from the sheer pressure of people interested in Asian assets. Yeah, so I think in the long run, that how fast that happens, I don't know.
And that translates
rising prices. Yeah,
rising prices.
Yeah, we already see it with commodities. The raw materials that go into the projects have been going up. It's been a bit of a struggle for developers to try and manage that, because when we sell you an apartment, we have to fix the price. We can't keep adjusting it. But as we build it, the cost is going up. Yeah.
So for a buyer, let's say if you already own a property in any of these 5 places, brilliant. But then this episode is really for you to actually give an indication to those who are thinking of plonking their money somewhere. So what are the key considerations on what one should have before looking at areas like the 5 that you mentioned?
I think that's why I said for people looking to invest, they should stick to where areas they know best.
Okay.
And look, these 5 may be the obvious ones, but I bet there are some houses in your neighborhood that you could do much better than these 5 areas, because you know the value. You see an affordable unit coming up. Some of the criteria, I think, first is affordability. Make sure that whatever we buy, we can afford. I think that's important. And then if it's in the secondary market, it's go kick the tires, make sure that everything's working. If it's from a developer, do understand the developer's philosophy, whether it follows with you, the reputation, the ability to deliver, the location. It's actually very easy to do well in real estate. Take 3-4 weekends, go visit 5-6 properties. At the end of that, you would have covered 30 to 50 properties. Then look to put money down on 1 or 2.
Right.
Often we just wander into a show and say, wow, this looks great. We sign up, and then later there's regret. Did I do the right thing? I saw something better. Yeah. Malaysians are great at shopping for a good sale. Right? They'll go to the shopping centre, they'll cover everything, or even the pasar malam. They'll look from stall to stall, they'll find the best, and then they go for it. Right. We should apply that same principle to real estate. Yeah, and I think maybe we get a bit emotional, we see something we like, and then we throw all the calculations out the window. But there's an opportunity to take your time, have a good look, and really understand what you're getting into.
Now, let's talk about something, the excitement in these 5 areas. What can we look forward to? And which of the 5 areas actually offers the most excitement in terms of a lot of developers are actually going into, to those areas in full force, not just for commercial, residential properties, but also commercial areas, shops, malls and stuff.
I think when you talk about the excitement, the reason I brought those 5 up, they're fairly well established, and there is still some potential for growth. But really, the exciting thing is the neighborhoods transforming because of the people who come in there. Because KLCC, if you look around, yes, there's still some development potential, but there are already quite a lot of projects there. It's who will come in and stay in the city centre as the economy continues to improve, and KL becomes better because of the, say, Greater KL Plan, etc. Kota Damansara is still growing and growing quite fast. So again, again, it's not just the infrastructure, like you said, the commercial, a lot more retail. You know, there were some shop houses maybe 10 years ago which were very quiet. Now you have to triple park to be able to get there.
Right, yeah, okay, so those are the 5 areas. Well, we're out of time right now, and the next time we're going to chat is going to be, in 2012. So again, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Well, that's it. You know now, the 5 areas, KLCC, Mont Kiara, will swap between Ampang and Bangsa for 3rd and 4th place, and 5th place, anything that has Damansara in it is worth a look at. Well, Lina, I guess it's no surprise that our country is a great place to live in, yeah?
Yes, you're right, and with that, we've picked 5 top properties or structures that we featured on our show. So stay tuned, we're going to be back in a couple.